as much attention to the background detail as we could do.
The way I'm getting to the bag, look like I got white privilege, it's coming too easy. I'm in a Subaru Benz, but when it comes to the clan, only one of us bleeding. I'm in the woods while black, look like I make sacrifices, might cut off your hand. Niggas keep track of every down deuce, a nigga, he live his life like a fan. We the ones that master my shit, this ain't all of a sudden was on. Me and my brothers was raised by some queens, but we learned from the killers, you won't understand. Never hated, I kept my head down and stuck to
Today I got Paul with us today. Paul, welcome. First, just want you to tell everybody, name, mother, father name, what school you went to, what school you're headed to, and any sports after school, and also your basically your degree where you're going to now.
All right. My name is Paul Evans Robinson, son of Daniela Evans and Brandon Robinson. I recently graduated from Eastern Guilford High School, and I plan on going to North Carolina State University. I'm currently undecided in my major, but I plan on switching to architecture to obtain my master's.
Okay.
While in high school, I participated in men's varsity soccer for 4 years, and was a starter for 4 years. I played men and JV football. I ran track and field, and I was the basketball manager for the JV and varsities team.
Okay.
While playing sports, I was also the president for National Honor Society, the co-president for Beta Club, the vice president for National Technical Honor Society, and a member of the shop, which is a group of young teens where they're mentors and mentees to help build them into better young men throughout their 4 years of high school.
Okay, pretty dope, man. I like hearing that. Love hearing that. Paul, if you would, man, tell us who was probably one of your greatest inspirations to kind of put you on the path that you are now. You trying to go to college, being a young man like you are yourself, that I always seen you kind of uphold yourself to a higher standard than most, young teenagers. Who was that inspired you to be that?
My biggest inspiration, it would be my mom. Mm-hmm. Just from growing up in a single parent household, it wasn't always easy having everything and being able to do everything all the time. So, just seeing how hard my mom would work as a single parent, having to work 2 jobs or having to always take me to practice, it just inspired me to be better, because I know as a single parent it can be hard trying to do all these things,
right,
and provide for 2 sons. So just with that, it inspired me to want to be involved with different communities and be the best version of myself I can be. So that's why I did a lot of stuff I did today, by getting involved with a lot of sports and a lot of different community activities to keep myself busy, but also to build myself into a better young man I am today. And she instilled a lot of those characteristics into me. And without her, I don't know if I could be the man I am today.
Oh man, sounds good, man. It's always good to hear a parent, especially a single parent, that's a lot on them to be not only the mom, but be a father as well too at times when your father ain't always there. I know your mom is very proud of you going to college, setting a high standard, and being who you are today. So I know that's glad to hear, and I know she loves to see you going off to be the young man that you're supposed to be. Yeah. So Paul, I would like to ask now, who is a person outside your mom that may have inspired you more than what you generally would think? Sometimes it could be a coach, could be a teacher, family member, somebody outside your own parents or your own household. Just giving the example of myself, man. I had a coach. His name was Coach Story, long tenure coach at Williams High School. He used to say stuff sort of like a saying every day in practice. You either get better or worse. You never stay the same. And as a kid, young teenager, we used to hear that saying and we used to think it as a joke. Then I got older, I really realized like it really made sense. You can't expect you to be the same every single day. If you ain't getting better, you're getting worse every single day. So he was somebody that inspired me because I just understood that he worked so hard. He was undersized. He was a good player, good coach. He didn't care where you came from. He didn't care about how much money your parents had. He was trying to play the best players on the team. And he was just somebody that I know personally myself. If it wasn't for him coaching sometimes at that time, I don't know where I would be. So do you have somebody like that inspire you outside your mom?
I would say throughout my 4 years of high school, the other person that inspired me would be Coach Spinks. He is the men's basketball coach at Eastern Guilford High School.
Okay.
Growing up, I have a cousin named Tori Evans, and I would go watch him play, and I would always see Coach Spinks coaching when he first started there, and he started coaching at a young age.
Okay.
And once I got to Eastern, and I seen how he ran the program, and most people never realized what it took to be a head coach day in and day out.
Right.
But once I got to know him and figure out his personal life and what he went through, it kind of just I saw my shoes in his shoes.
Yeah. Because
we have a similar lifestyle, growing up with a single parent, playing the sports we love, but also in his case, basketball was everything he had.
Yeah. And
I would always go to him to talk if something wasn't going right, or if I didn't have another trusted adult in the building.
Right.
And he would always just tell me just give me great advice. And he would always tell me the reasons why to keep going. And yeah, that was one of my other biggest inspirations coming out of high school.
Okay. You sound like a pretty good guy, man. As a young adult, young teen, sometimes outside the household, the greatest inspiration can be those guys, a coach, a teacher, mentor, whatever it is, man. They can always get inspirations all the time. So that's good to hear, man. Shout out to Coach out there. Keep doing your thing at Eastern Guilford, basketball coach, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, keep doing your thing, man. We're glad to hear, man. Glad to be, man. Where do you see yourself in 10 years? I know you headed off to college now, NC State. Where do you see yourself? Do you plan on staying in the state of North Carolina? Do you plan on finishing at NC State, or do you plan on going to another school? Let me know where you feel like you see yourself in 10 years.
In 10 years, I hope to see myself designing local buildings for different communities, but I also hope to see myself as a professional basketball manager.
Oh, okay.
With architecture, I've grown into it. When I first got into high school, one of my friends, he told me about drafting, and he was like, it's just an easy class, just to get the easy credit.
Yeah.
When I took it, it was an easy credit, but there was so much into it.
Yeah.
This class was the basics of how buildings are designed in our world. And after my first year of taking drafting 1, I just fell in love with it, and so I decided to take drafting 2, and it got way more advanced. And then you got to see how blueprints are actually created in the different materials and what it needs for buildings to be done.
Right.
And so throughout my 4 years, I decided to take drafting classes, and now I want to pursue that as a career and majoring in it at NC State.
Okay.
So I can hope to come out of state with a master's degree and possibly get an internship for someone and start designing local buildings that could have an impact on different communities.
Okay.
And possibly I could leave North Carolina and go design other buildings anywhere, but it is a goal to be able to have a building designed by me and say I did that.
Right. That's pretty dope, man. I love to hear that. Me personally, architecture was something that I always wanted to do, but I just didn't really know how to get into it. But I know it's a very important aspect of buildings, bridges, everything that we use and take for granted for a lot of the things that we got. So, and I hope everything works out for you. I know Mom is definitely going to be proud when you get done and get all that stuff situated. I'm sure when you get done too, you're going to be coming back trying to take care of Mama too, because I already know you're going to make sure she's well off before you run off and be the important person that you are. So Paul, I guess my last question would be, if you had to tell your younger self or somebody that may be younger wanting to get into NC State, maybe want to be on the soccer team at a Division I, want to be a sports manager on a Division I program, or even professionally, even an architect, what would you tell your younger self? How would you tell them, okay, start with this, work on this, focus on this? What would you tell your younger self to get you a better head start?
If I could tell my younger self, for sports or academics, I would have them I would have my younger self go to a middle college.
Okay.
And start taking early college courses. So you can get a feel of what college will feel like. Because most kids, when they go into high school, they're afraid to take harder classes.
Right.
Because it's going to be more work, and they don't have the mindset to do more work.
Right.
So get ahead and start taking harder classes now and getting a feel of what a course load of work will feel like.
Okay.
But when it comes to sports, not everybody's going to be naturally gifted with talent, but hard work beats talent. It can beat some sort of talent.
Yeah.
So you're just going to have to put the grind in and keep working. There's always a chance out there. You never know who's looking. You just got to keep going, keep grinding.
Right.
And not everybody's life is meant to play Division I sports. But that doesn't mean that it's over. It may not mean that you'll be professional, but there's still opportunities out there where you can still play. So don't ever give up on having a athletic career dream. It's got to take a chance and keep going.
Right. That's good, man. That's good to hear. I know that's going to help somebody out there, somebody that's inspired to be in the shoes that you are. And I just appreciate you just sharing your whole story, man, where you come from, who inspired you, where you headed. So that way in 10 years from now, when you come back in the shop and you sit down, I can say I had him before he blew up. So I appreciate everything, man.
Yes, sir. Thank you for having me here, too, man.
No problem. Oh, I thank you, brother. I appreciate you, man. Good seeing you as always, man. Always, man. Always. Thank you, sir.